Matembe. I'm the founder of Mathematics, which is a financial education platform. We help adults and young people just start conversations on money and look at different ways they can optimize their resources. I'm also the host of the Grow Your Money podcast, and again, all around financial inclusion, trying to showcase different user journeys and different life moments that impact our money and how we can make the most of them. The book is called Thriving Beyond Borders, Managing Money in a New Country, but really the feedback we're getting is it's managing money anywhere. It really is a compact guide filled with valuable tips on how to make the most of your resources. So an ideal read for someone that's approaching money for at the start, of their money journey. How can you advance your career? How you can explore alternative finances, budgeting hacks, and it's all around stories of people who have moved to make the UK home. So they've had to start from scratch. So if you think about yourself and money and what the first steps are, you need to take a white canvas and put money on it. This is what this book is about. Thriving Beyond Borders, Managing Money in a New Country, is part of a wider project, which is called An Immigrant's Financial Journey. And part of this was showcasing the stories. We are losing the heritage of people who moved to Scotland as far back as the 60s and what their journey has been, their contribution to society, and more poignantly, what they have had to go through to make the most of their money. So it's part of a wider project. We have a limited series podcast, which you can find on the Grow Your Money podcast and also independently, An Immigrant's Financial Journey. We also have an amazing range of illustrations, just illustrating what we found these journeys to be. We had a brilliant exhibition at the National Library of Scotland. And then this book is a fourth in the different ways of expressing the journeys of people who have moved to make the UK home, Scotland in particular. That's why we have the Kelpies as part of the book cover. It's taken us about 2 years to put this together. So you're looking at, these are 10 stories out of over 85 interviews. In fact, 85 and more. A big deal for us was sort of having that intergenerational conversation because we're talking to people who are as old as 85. Our eldest participant, Rosalind, who's one of the chapters, is 85 years old. And trying to pick out what her journey has been, but what someone that's going through their own transition today can learn from. And that's taken us the better part of 2 years because we were looking at my expertise overlaying the storytelling, not losing or diluting what the journey has been, but picking out lessons that we can learn. Also, the different formats is really important for us because now people are, if you're visually impaired, you can look at a podcast, or if you art speaks better to you, you can look at art. But in terms of the book itself as well, we've written it in such a way that it's accessible for the older generation, for someone that has English as a second language, but also someone that's new to money. So the most brilliant thing about this was bringing it together over this time was how can this be picked up by a 5-year-old and a 30-year-old, and each of them can get value out of it. And I hope we've achieved that. The reader of this book is anybody that wants a different view on money. So if you're new to country, if you're looking to advance your career, if you're looking to see how you make the most of your own resources, if you're starting again, we have different life moments. Sometimes, I mean, someone in the book went through a divorce. And when you're going through a divorce, money changes overnight. Everything around you changes overnight. So anybody really that's interested in understanding how you can start fresh with money or looking for a different perspective, we have quite amazing tips in there. Things like money clubs are something that may not be familiar to someone that's born and bred here. But so if you need a different perspective on money, this book is good for you. So I've ensured that this is not just a storybook, whilst a key part of this was the heritage and showcasing journeys of people, I've made sure that at the end of every book, there's something we can learn from everyone's story. And this is twofold. One thing I was quite keen to emphasize is that each of us has a story and a journey, and there is something we can learn from everything. So don't you ever sit down and beat yourself up and think your life's been for nothing. There'll be something you can pick up and learn. And I've made sure of this with every chapter, at the end of it, I summarize a lesson, whether it be around money clubs, whether it be around how you can optimize or advance your career. There is something we can learn from everyone's journey, no matter how dry or boring it sounds, there is a lesson to be learned. There were the book has, we picked 10 stories, a very difficult thing to do. We had so many great submissions, a lot of stories, a lot of journeys, but there was a lady that really, really got my eye. She's a single mom of 5 children. She got divorced soon after moving to the UK, and she's managed still to do everything that I would find successful in the UK. And I found it so refreshing, even how she tells the stories. She's actually part of the podcast too, but how she narrated her journey as well with so much positivity and the understanding that we can always start again. And no matter what life throws at us, we can always make it work. She's invested, she has been into property, she buys shares and stocks, all single and raising 5 children by herself. I thought it was such an emotional an emotional expression of what we can do if we put our minds to it. And I thought it was a sign that there is hope for each and every one of us in any situation. Yes, so the illustrations in the book have also been very meticulously thought about, as part of expressing the different and capturing the different heritage. I was keen that and very conscious that I was telling these stories through my lens, through my understanding from the interviews and the research that I had done. I wanted another take on it. I wanted it to be that if anyone picks it up, you can make your own story out of it. You can make your own deductions from it. And is an utter powerful way to do it. So I approached a friend who actually runs a fashion brand, incidentally. But my thinking was, if someone is creative in any other format, they'll be creative with illustrations too. I was also quite keen that the person would have a journey of their own, a story to tell. And incidentally, the illustrator's mother made it into the book. So her mom is in the book as well. So the illustrator is a second generation immigrant who understands firsthand what the book is about. And it's been amazing to see what her take has been. The book cover just says it all. We're a compilation of so many different journeys and stories to be these people living in Scotland and making it successful. The goal of this book has been to make it accessible for anybody. So I made sure that whether you're 5, 10, 30, 60, or 85, as our eldest reader is, you have something you can take away from this. So we've made sure it's not too big. It's a thin read. It's wide enough. You have accessible print in it, and the language is very accessible so that it's conversational, and each of us can know that we can start hacking away at our money. It doesn't have to be a complex, graphy book for you to talk about money. It can be illustrated, it can be thin and fun, and still you'd be able to pick up a resource. It's been a journey doing this book. It's a compact read. It's 2 years worth of a lot of work and thought. So everything that has gone in this is very meticulously thought of. In concluding, I'll read a little excerpt from the preface, which is my story and why I came to the book. But this book has been brought together by a village. It truly is the fruit of collective labor, nurtured and harvested by a community in the truest sense. And I leave you with this thought. When people from far and wide migrate to the continent of Africa, they are referred to as expats. When Africans migrate to other parts of the world, they're immigrants. Truer words have never been illustrated than in the African proverb. Until the lion tells the story, the hunter will always be the hero. It's been a great privilege and honor to be a lion or lioness and tell the stories of lions. I sincerely thank everyone who has entrusted me with their stories, their heritage, and financial journeys. We have reclaimed the narrative, honoring our shared heritages with every word in this book. And to you that's watching this as well, thank you for coming on the journey with us because you are part of it now. Thank you.